Hello everyone, and welcome to my guide to tanking Tam-Tara Deepcroft in 3 minutes or less. This guide is aimed at pug runs and has been tested extensively. There are only 2 dangerous pools in this entire dungeon, both of which will have new healer stack points for if your healer is completely new. First thing we will do is check our healer's search info to see if they are a completely new player. If so, you should use the new healer stack points that are shown during this run. From all my testing, it is only completely new conjurers that struggle to handle the healing requirements, usually more to their inexperience and not knowing how their keyboard works. Alright, starting off this run, we're going to make sure that we have our tank stance on. We're going to grab these 2 enemies here and proceed down the hallway. Now we're coming up to our very first new healer stack point, which is just here next to these carrion beetles. Just kill all the enemies before moving on. For every other group that has a good healer, just proceed on to the next little mini boss. Stack up next to the cultist orb and just AoE all the enemies down. There is really not much else happening right here. Don't worry too much about dodging AoEs. The damage is completely insignificant. Interact with the cultist orb and proceed on, pulling everything as you go. If you have a new healer, consider stopping in the room with the Deepcroft Mightlings, though this is largely unnecessary and a waste of time. Everybody else should push straight through to the next cultist orb, being mindful that there is one mage enemy at the back there that you may want to stack on. Just like before, just proceed to kill all the enemies in the area and then interact with the cultist orb once again. Now the next pool is probably the most dangerous of the entire dungeon, though it does have a halfway stacking point for if you are a bit uncomfortable. Go ahead and pull everything, stopping on the stone bridge with the spider things if your healer is new. If not, continue on. Going right in the room with the pit. Continue to pull everything through this little door, going left, stopping by this little torch. Keep an eye out on these little ads over here, as sometimes they will aggro onto your healers, for example, as will happen on screen now. There we go, you can see the little arrow. I'll just provoke that enemy and pull them into the stack. Continue to AoE all these enemies down, and then head into the last room, killing all these enemies as quickly as you can before picking up the cultist rosary. With the rosary, we're going to return to the big barrier, which we can now bring down. Once this is done, just kill the enemies in sight and kill the final mini-boss. Once the mini-boss is dead, interact with the 2 remaining orbs there, and it is time for the final boss. The only mechanics to which are actually a joke, being these imps that spawn, stopping him from taking any damage. All that you have to do is kill these imps and continue to damage the boss. There will be several phases of this, just rinse and repeat until the boss is dead. Don't worry about dodging any of the AoEs, they are actually insignificant at this point. With that said, congratulations, you have completed Tam-Tara. Thank you very much for watching, and
rejoice in the glory of combat!
Through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays, and on we'll go. Through the wastelands, through the highways.